Hey neighbors, this is Tony. This is my LWRC model M6 AR-15 chambered in 5.56 millimeter NATO. I've owned this gun for about 5 years, I'd say. And the reason I'm doing this video, one, is to show you the gun, in case you guys are unfamiliar with it. And then also to talk about the main reason, and that is to replace the trigger. So on the gun, I've made a few modifications since I paid over $2,000 for it a few years ago, which is a lot for an AR in my opinion, but it is a quality gun. Never had a jam. I love it. Haven't put many rounds through it, probably 300. What I have done to it is, of course, I added a sling, this Viking Tactical sling, 2-point, which I love. And to mount the sling, I've got a mount up here on one of the rails, and I don't remember where I got this or who makes it, but it's a relatively inexpensive mount, nothing special. And then in the rear, I did add a mount for the back of the sling here, but after using it one time in training, I hated it. So I took the sling off. I had a single point sling, and I went with the Viking Tactical. This stock is factory, the VLTOR, which is fair. It's not my favorite stock, but it works. It does have a compartment here, sealed compartment for tools and batteries, etc. Got a 4-end grip here. It's a T-FL. I don't know if that's the manufacturer or the model, but I do like it a lot. It's very high quality, made in Israel, folds up nicely to the bottom rail here, and you can take the cap off. I believe it's got an O-ring on the threads there to make a nice seal for watertight compartment. As far as optics, I've got the Nikon M223 scope, which I do like a lot. It's 3:12 magnification by I think 40 millimeter objective. It came with a cover in the rear. I bought one for the front. It's a Butler Creek, I believe. So this is obviously for a longer range engagement. And then I bought the Bushnell red dot here. I don't remember the model number. I think it's a TRS 25 or something like that, but it's under $100, at least it was a few years ago. But so far so good. I like it a lot. Oh, and then to mount the scope, I've got this M223 Nikon mount, which has worked quite well. It's never loosened up. Lots of screws for keeping it tight on the rail. The gun came with factory backup iron sight. It's an LWRC make, and it is detachable. In the front, this is not detachable, but it's a pop-up front sight. And before I forget, a must on a gun like this, at least set up like mine, you need to have an extended lever for the charging handle, which is easy to put on, and it's relatively inexpensive, probably $15 for that thing or less. And then I went with a Magpul K2 grip. The factory grip, as you can probably see, is angled more toward the bore axis of the gun, so this has a more vertical ergonomics to it than the original one, which I like, and it is hollow, so you can store stuff up inside that as well. And then I did add a Streamlight combination laser light. This is their model TLR-2S. I've owned Streamlight lasers and lights for a long time, and I love them. It's got the pressure sensor switch on the other side of the gun. And I've got, what else? Anything else to say about this? I don't think so. So that's the gun. And as I said earlier, I'm going to change out the trigger because sadly, even though you spend over $2,000 on a nice gun like this, the trigger is crap. Now, when I say that, I don't mean it doesn't work well, but the brake load, the force to brake this is probably 6 or 8 pounds, which is ridiculous in my opinion. So I bought the Timney with a 3-pound brake, just arrived today. It's item number 667S. And I have this trigger, and I have used this trigger for years in the very first AR that I purchased way back in probably 2000, which is a Bushmaster, and I love the trigger. I did a lot of research looking into options, and there are a lot of great triggers out there. This one is a little more expensive than some of its competitors, but because it's a drop-in and Timney's been around since the 40s, been making great triggers, I thought I'm going to pay a little more and be confident that it works. I've replaced the trigger. There's the new Timney. Those are the original LWRC parts. Before I removed them, I measured the trigger pull 3 times with this Wheeler Engineering gauge, measured 7 to 7.5 pounds from the factory, and the new Timney measures 3.5. Tried it 3 times and broke it 3.5 each time. The spec is 3 pounds on that trigger, so 3.5 is close enough. Hope this video was helpful for you guys. Take care.